What's up, guys? VideoBox here with our third card discussion, and today's card is Elemental Hero Escuridão. Now, for those of you that don't know, Escuridão is Portuguese for darkness, which is quite fitting. And for those of you that also don't know, the little tilde mark over the A got removed in its translation, so yeah, I expect a lot of people to pronounce it wrong. And that little tilde mark actually is relevant because it creates a Y sound after the letter itself. So it's pronounced Escuridão, not Escuridão, as the majority of people will actually say it. But yeah, there's your little Spanish lesson for today, if anyone cares. But let's go over its stats real quick. It's a dark monster, 8 stars, warrior fusion, and can't really tell here from the camera, but 2500 attack and 2000 defense. Not great stats for an 8-star monster. And its effect is must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card gains 100 attack for each elemental hero monster in your graveyard. So the effect isn't that great either, but that's not the main reason why people actually want this card, or why it's actually remotely usable. It's only because of the fact that it's a dark monster, and its materials involve any hero and a dark monster. And there's a lot of dark monsters out there. With the release of this card, it gives more power to hero decks, obviously, namely this card, Super Polymerization. So because Super Poly now has a dark target, I guess, even though this card doesn't really target, you can activate Super Poly to fuse your hero with your opponent's dark monster and create this guy. So the effect isn't really relevant, it's just the fact that you can screw over the opponent with stuff like Super Poly. As well as the other 5 attributes. But the dark one is obviously the most important because, well, darks are the strongest attribute in the game, without peer, basically. And this also breaks this card here, Future Fusion. We all know what this does. I mean, dragons use it, heroes use it, but now there's a bigger purpose with Future Fusion and this guy to reveal. And the scary part is you can now dump dark monsters into the graveyard, similar to what Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher before it were able to do. And basically, one of the reasons why it's so broken is because of the fact of you can get Brownac to keep bouncing back Future Fusion to basically recycle Future Fusion, and your graveyard becomes a toolbox. So I'll give a small example of what it can really do. So you activate Future Fusion, reveal this guy, you dump a hero, and then you dump Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Bounces back through Zephyros' effect, take 400, special summon it, activate it again, reveal this guy again, and then you dump Plague this time along with another hero, top deck for Plague, and then you synchro these two for Brownac. And you keep using Brownac to bounce back Future Fusion to basically dump a lot of your random monsters into the grave. Some examples include Malicious, remember that guy? Lesser Extent, Level Eater. And because Brownac's on the field, you can start bouncing back a bunch of other things. You start revealing different attribute E-Hero monsters, like reveal Nova Master. So you can dump an E-Hero and Volcanic Shell. And with Volcanic Shell, you can keep adding another copy of Shell to your hand, bounce this back with Brownac, so you're not losing any cards. Or if you want some field presence, you reveal Gaia, so you can dump a hero and, let's say, like Dandelion into the graveyard. I mean, the possibilities are pretty endless. And it's hard to imagine that all this is possible because of this guy. A guy whose effect is basically irrelevant, but it's only because of its namesake, its materials, and the fact that it's a dark. I mean, that's pretty busted if you think about it. I mean, this one card can spawn everything I just showed you, and then some. And it makes me believe that come September, this card here might be banned. If it's not, well, hero decks can have some fun. And honestly, most decks only need one of this guy anyway. It's not expected to really do much in terms of hitting the field, but this card is basically just needed for setup. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to this card, really. And if you guys have any more input as to why this card is actually pretty decent, feel free to leave a comment, message me. And if you guys have any requests or any cards that you want discussed, feel free to send us a message. And subscribe for more comments, and for more updates, sorry about that, from TeamTHE. This is Video Box, and I'm out. Peace out, guys.